Good morning, all. December 28th, 3 more days left for 2021. Plenty of people are happy about that, no doubt. Overnight, we've got a continuation pretty much as expected. Apple drifted up to 181. Remember, a lot of hype around that, hitting the 3 trillion. I think that's at 180, 286. S&P having another run for 4,800. Well, I shouldn't say another run. It'll be its first run. Oil up strongly again. And natural gas is off pretty sharply. Again, failed over $4. There was lots of speculation, I guess, from non-natural gas types about the cold weather in the US. Yes. However, the heating degree days, as we were saying, was still quite bearish in that regard. Part of the sell-off, of course, is because European natural gas is now off for its 5th straight day. And a lot to do with this is actually positive for natural gas US side, particularly the hub, because of LNG cargoes. The talk around that. But remember, it is right around the end of the month, so you have the rollover, the different months, what they call bid week, the cash versus the future going on there. Okay, let's have a quick look. The other at the charts here, S&P, of course, our main vehicle we're going to take a look at. So hourly overnight, we drifted up most of the night. As we can see, we've come off a little bit from the highs here. But we're sitting just under the top of that channel. So if you recall, that channel's been in play for well over a month now. When we've broken it, retested. So we know when you get a retest, that's significant. Right now, that's trading up around 48.20 on cash. The Tenkin's our support, which right now is 47.99 as far as cash. Let's call it 4,800. Should it get here down through there, there's your support. Keep an eye on that on the hourly. Remember, it's very illiquid, so you want to keep your positions either out of the market or size-wise. Options are a good time. That's how I'm actually playing most of this, because vol is so cheap. You know your risk the moment you get into it as a buyer. So there's your hourly, pretty clear. Daily, again, clear. These are pretty cut and dried moves, have been for over a week. Hopefully you benefited. 5 minute, you can see what's going on. Remember, thinner machines. Someone wants to sell 100. This is what you're going to get, and that's what we got. We did not get to that new high in this recent run here, early Europe. So we failed. We had selling, and you can see we broke that 50 either side, but again, it's so thin. It's better to look at the longer time. I mean, this is just chopped because there's no one out there, right? Just machines and diehards. We've come into the 5 minute cloud, and you can see that should offer support. We need to get back over here from a trading point of view if you're just scalping it. Apple, we're actually a little bit lower now, but you can see it's come right up to that level here and found some selling overnight at that 81 spot. If you want to look on this is a 240 chart, 4 hours, a good time frame. So is this very much looks like a rising wedge, doesn't it? Except we've accelerated here. This is off 1, 2, 3, so this could be more likely a 1, building something more powerful. Again, use your Tenkin. This is plus 2/8, so it needs to accelerate, have the power, and you just would look at your plus 3 and 4/8 here as likely targets. That could get as high as 186 and still, from your bullish point of view. Your bearish point of view, let's widen this up. So keep it tight, and Cerna Rally, I keep hearing about, and I think I mentioned, but that goes into the second day of the new year. Just think of what goes on: window dressing, etc., profit taking, bonuses, all that stuff is real. So on your support, you've got, look at this here with the Tenkan and the 50 and the plus 1/8 all together around 178.5. I mean, sorry, 118.5. 18, yeah, no, I'm right, 178.50. Nasdaq, pretty much the same as the S&P, almost identical, yeah. The 30-minute chart. We got these little flags forming. You watch them for which way they go, and you look for false breaks either way. Again, keep it tight and size-wise. Not many people are trading right now. And here is our Russell. As I said early morning, this isn't a lot to go on, but you can see it's just slowly drifting up with the support. There's that underbid there. Your clouds are very useful here. It's telling you where everyone is, and you want to use your Murray math or your Gann just for your mathematical probabilities, right? You want to take your emotion out. At this time of the year, everyone's hoping for the, if you're long, you just think it goes up forever. If you're short, you're like, man, can this stop? Just try and be rational. Here's your POCs we talked about. Remember, we had a series of virgins chasing us up. That's your trend. If one gets pinged, however, be aware that the next one is on target to get pinged. So if you have that, and that's today's, right? So here, this is the key from yesterday. We're down at 40. We're a long way away, actually, 47.30. Okay, oil has been the little beast overnight. So, I mean, it's important as part of what we try to do at Know the Wave is it's all part of one plan, and you want to look at the esoteric markets because that'll give you more an insight into how the market's feeling, the personality, the market, those personalities being a multitude, right? So you look at the pure mathematical possibilities, and previous lows and highs were a great measure of that. This was just a classic here in oil. Couldn't quite get down there. Perfect sequence here. So Murray isn't just overbought and oversold, it's also the time and price squaring. Remember, it is based on Gann originally. That was Ty Murray's finding that secret formula, etc. Look at the 1, 2, 3, very long. Remember, the alternative was 1, 2, 3 as opposed to ABC. We have come up perfectly here in ABC, or 1, 2, 3, right to that first target we talked about, the clouds. And we pressed that to almost 77 this morning. So that's on your daily. Keep that. And look at the measured move. Right there you got your 50, which is 78. I mean, who knows this time of the year? Any of these wild moves are possible. We've already seen a few of them. We do have API out today. We'll talk about earlier, there was the big defense, we'll talk about later, sorry, the big defense bill in the US, basically fueling up against China. And here's the 60. Again, you can see it's had this bounce, and this suggests there's a lot of people uncaught short here, and also machines just buying this time of the year if they've still got hedges to put on, etc. And the ilk. Look where we are. Again, these are going in 2/8 moves, so that's 2/8 moves. So just think mathematically what it's doing, and when you put that across on your price basis, your big support's going to be that Tenkan. This is a 60, 76.29, and let's look what if that coincides with on the our scalping chart with the pivots, etc. The pivots is a long way away. Yesterday was the first day I remember hitting a pivot actually for a while. on this upswing. That's all the way down at 74.80, a long way away. We're going to open around the Tenkan and the 50 cage and see all this, but we do have, it's not really flat enough to pull you down. And right under, just under R1. These pivots are quite, remember when we get volatile, these spread out. And that's representative of people where their positioning is. And you can see we're also right around plus 2.8. So we're very overboard here on a 5 minute. And we looked at that other one. So a healthy correction would be in order. But again, this time of the year, and I think I mentioned a story last night, how they can run against you. I've been there, done that. Not good. Here's natty gap. So we gap down here. Remember, this time of the year, I caution those. Well, even if you're in natural gas, you tend to only have on what you got to have if you're a hedger or vice versa. Look at these gap ups and gap downs, gap ups, gap downs. And they don't always fill straight away, but these are weather related or spec related. There's a lot of spec related orders coming through what's happening in Europe. Remember, it's very much a domestic commodity, and within natural gas itself in the States, you have all the different, what they call basis points, so where they are in the nation. What we're trading is the Henry Hub. So we've come down. I mean, that's over a 10, almost a 20-cent move there, right? We talked about earlier. That's your hourly. But to go to the 5 minutes, that looks a little bit even. You can see what's happened. So you can see on these weather reports, if you time it, that's what these moves are. And then we had the early weather report not long ago, and bang. And this also psychologically is a lot of trading. You can see respect like, dang, oh, Europe's down again. But don't forget, Europe's at very exorbitant levels. Okay, Bitcoin, the ultimate speculator's playground. It's back down to 49. Johnny was in here last night saying how 50,000 such a big level. Well, that gave that up. And look at the sell-off on these things when it happens. But let's go to a 30-minute of that. So this is what's happened. It just pretty well got riveted straight down from over 52,000 to 48 something. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? One of the most speculative vehicles out there. 5 people control it. This time of the year, this probably is the sort of thing I would expect. Look at the little pennant. So that'll give you your next move. It does have a flat, if we can get through caging, it does have this flat cloud in that cavern pulling it up there. Shoot, it breaks. Got to break through this. That's your top side. Your pennant. On the downside, let's see what we got down there. Look at this. You're right on that 4-hourly cloud. That's giving it support. Your other support's your 50 underneath. Okay, I'll leave this up while we go through specifics of when it happened overnight. So as we know, so why is it up so much? Part of it is just this time of the year, window dressing, Santa rally. The other bit is the CDC decided to reduce the isolation period to half, I believe. I think it's down to 5 days for Omicron. So obviously, you know, more and more people are questioning just how scientific all this is. We went from fear. If you look, I think Alex last week mentioned that, and I believe it's still up there on the White House website, just straight out fear, verbatim what they were saying, and now you get this. So there is possibly that. The other big thing is over in China, the People's Bank of China, their central bank, eased further. They injected another 200 billion renminbi in their 7-day reverses. Also, with all this talk of the pumping going on in China, or the easing, I should say, Evergrande, believe it or not, was up over 8% on that news. Over in Japan, the Nikkei went to a 1 month high. It was up 1.25, and that was pretty much what happened here. If you remember yesterday, it was semis. Same in Japan last night with Tokyo Electron and Advantest. Over in Europe, DAX is the strongest, but pretty much we're up everywhere. Currencies, very thin. Euro's about flat. Dollar yen's up, actually it's down about 10 cents right now. The FTSE, I believe, is still closed for Boxing Day, and that would be the same over in Sydney. Gold, remember, broke its winning streak yesterday. Well, it's up almost $7 right now, and silver is up a tad. As far as news, we do get some news coming out today. Well, firstly, let me touch on Tesla. That was down to $900. I don't think it went through it a few days ago. That's now trading up another $20 pre-market at $1,013. And it appears to just be a continuation of momentum. Zoom is down $1 or so to 186. They did an acquisition of certain assets from Liminal to enhance the company's events offerings. Terms were not disclosed. Laser is up a tad. That's LAZR or LAZR, depending what part of the world you're from. Got top pick at Northern Capital. On the site, there's an article there about Japan's industrial production was at a record high last month in November at 7.2%. Now, the question, of course, is this a one-off because of the auto industry comeback? In other words, are they just playing catch-up? Consumer confidence was down in South Korea overnight. That's been a pattern everywhere with Omicron. The question it will be the next one, how quickly it pops up from it. And that they raise that even higher, by the way. That expectations in Japan. Over in Europe, the French finance minister says plans for tighter coronavirus restrictions. So now we're in a situation where you can see where nothing's really worked. All of a sudden you've got all this. They know they can't go down their lockdown as far as economy. There's now a lot of questioning that should have probably been done not probably, but should have been done a long time ago. The side effects, the destruction to children's education, you could go on, psychology, depression, etc. So all that's being out in the open with these kind of moves, and you've seen videos of certain parts of the world, in America, for example, New York, where they're over the top enforcing certain things. So that's all, whether you agree or don't agree, the reality is it has affected the psyche of the people, mental health, etc. Now, back to Europe, of note, and people are probably been betting on this as being a positive for the natural gas futures in Europe, because Gazprom has not booked export capacity in Europe for 8 days in a row. Remember, that's gas coming from Russia out through Europe. As far as more news over there, Russia and the US are going to meet in January about the Ukraine situation. I mean, it just smells a wag the dog. I don't want to be too cynical, but it's kind of that way, right? As far as economic data, for oil, I mentioned we have API at the end of the day. Remember, most oil people don't put much credence on that. It's more about EIA the following morning. We do have a series of housing numbers out, housing numbers. The FHFA Housing Price Index and the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. So the consensus and these are for October, so they're looking back. That's the thing with some of these numbers. You want to look out when they're actually responding to. I know the market tends to just blindly follow expectations, but that's why they're often correct when they realize what it was. It's October. The consensus For the HPI is 18.7. Wow, big number there. That was when weather picked up, I believe, and a lot to do with the virus right now. So a lot of this fear of missing out or FOMO has much to do with these moves as well. I see a stock RELI soaring pre-market. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. As far as big gap downs, lo and behold, one of them would be a biotech, of course. KNSA is down 18% on the phase 3 trial, not working out for them. Nothing really big other in downs. In ups, we have LVO up 21% when they acquired Trader 2B. It's a gaming exclusively licensed platform to gamify Live One. ASPN is up 3% after terminating its supply arrangement with BASF. Nothing too much else there. The 10-year notes trading around 1.47. And that's pretty well it for us. Keep it tight. Yes, I just got a message a little bit more about cryptocurrencies. Well, we talked about Bitcoin being down 3%. Yes, Ethereum is also down 3.5%. Solana is down 4.5%. And as it is often with this section or this marketplace, the big winner yesterday was Cardano, and that has totally reversed. It is down 6% today. And I don't know if it's relevant or not, but gold, as we said earlier, has caught it again. I know a lot of us are wondering, I can't say I really am, but a lot of gold bugs are very much waiting for that day when gold takes back the mantle from crypto. Well, everyone, have a wonderful day. If you've got messages, thanks, and to all the new subscribers, much appreciated. Please hit the like button below. Subscribe if you haven't. You get an automatic notification when we go live, and we'll keep trying to bring more great content to you, and we're in a new year, a little bit more specific about different technical analysis, different things we look at, order flow and the like. Have a wonderful day. Speak to you later. See us on Twitter at Traders.com. And you can visit the website, Traders Community. Make sure you're following the others from Traders Community. It is a community. We have markets for Mayhem, Nova Wave, Madavi 4, among the others. Thank you.